When I started as an analyst at Bain Company, I was not equipped. Before I started, Bain had us fill in the blank on an accounting workbook, and I thought, I have got this. They asked us to do a self-rating on Excel, where I gave myself an 8 out of 10. After all, I'd opened up the program. I knew my way around. And they asked us how good we were with presentations. And after just a few days on the job, I knew I was in serious trouble because I was not ready for the level of skills that I needed to succeed at Bain. Here are 3 things I wish I had spent time investing in learning before I became a first-year analyst at Bain. Number 1, Excel skills for building financial models. Sure, I needed to know shortcuts. I was a little silly that I didn't know any, and I could have learned that, how to do Excel quickly. But more importantly, I needed to know how to use Excel for the things that I was going to do on the job. I needed to know how to build integrated financial models that had if scenarios and dashboards where I could change one thing and it would change the whole model. I didn't know how to do any of that. And if you're in the same boat that I was, if you can analyze a very distilled piece of data from a class, but didn't know how to build a financial model with just totally rogue information, I would really encourage you to get some practice, because while I was learning it on the job, I was also trying to learn 50 other things. And if you have that one skill down, you can learn the other things that you need to learn, but already be ready with your Excel financial modeling skills. Number 2, how to build PowerPoint presentations for consulting. You know what I knew? How to build PowerPoint presentations to update people on information that they would otherwise need. It was for clubs in school. It was for end sales processes, but it wasn't this data-rich understanding for consulting where we were recommending an action on every single slide. Every slide had to have data, but not too much. It had to have focus data, the right data, and it needed to tell a story in the macro. And I had no idea how to do that. I actually wish I would have saved my first deck at Bain, because I would look back on it now and I would laugh to myself because it was so elementary, so basic, so simple. It wasn't the kind of work that a client would pay $500,000 to receive. And I needed to know how to do PowerPoint, not just overall, but for consulting specifically. Third, I went into Bain expecting to ride on the laurels that I had gotten into the firm with, my dazzling personality, my warm smile. Problem was, I didn't have a strategy on how to connect with people and how to figure out the needs of my supervisor in order to meet them, which meant that I had a lot of false starts on every project. Instead of sitting down with somebody, figuring out what they need, who their favorite people were, why they were their favorite people, what was working successfully with them going to look like, and then ultimately proposing ideas instead of just asking open-ended questions, I would have gotten a lot further at Bain, but I didn't know. I didn't know what I needed. I didn't know what I wanted, and I didn't know what they needed or wanted either. So there were a lot of mismatches and expectations that came through later on my ultimate reviews in a way that I could have just headed them off at the pass on the first day and understood how to build those relationships effectively. I also had no plan for how to strategically work through the organization. So I was great at my individual teams once I figured it out, too slow, but still figured it out. But the broader organization, how was I going to get FaceTime with every single partner? Everyone, whether they worked with me or not, had a say in whether I got bonused in a certain way, promoted in another way. And I didn't know that until way too late. I could have been much more strategic about building my relationships inside the firm. Ultimately, if you're about to start a consulting job, or if you have a pretty long runway and you're thinking about how to build the skills necessary to break in, or horror of horrors, if you've already started and you still need help getting up to the next level, we are here to help you. We have self-paced online courses as well as one-on-one coaching, and we'd love to support you in your journey.